Hello again, friends, from the cozy living room here at Mastermind Studios. This is UNB Live, your community, your issues. Of course, it's your show. My name is Bob Price, alongside UNB Communications Officer Diana Boston.
And Bob, the very premise, the entire focus of this show, which by the way is the first of its kind in Canada, it's all about communication, from current community events to delving deeper into the issues and critical information that UNB members are looking for.
And to that end, Diana, today we're going to be discussing communications and communication processes to ensure that band members indeed get timely and accurate answers to their many questions or concerns. UNB Administrator Collette Sunday is back. But first, as we always do, we're going to kick things off with the rundown. And we will begin the rundown with an invitation to help develop UNB's 13 moon calendar, which, of course, we were talking about in the very last edition of UNB Live.
Yes, Juanita's doing really well on the 13 moon calendar, and she's going to have an on the land learning October 21st to 25th at Fish Lake, Salmon Lake. And so, yeah, there'll be more info coming on that.
Wonderful. Kustum Tima, the grandmothers getting ready for their next public engagement session.
Just a few more weeks, Bob. On the 26th, they'll be down in Vancouver to have a community outreach gathering down there.
And when does this process wrap up?
Um, I don't think it ever does. I think it's just going to be an ongoing evergreen plan, like majority of our plans.
Wonderful. This one sounds very intriguing to me. An opportunity to learn more about creating your own business.
Yes, actually, ONA has joined up with Indigenize, which is an First Nations entrepreneur company. So they're inviting everybody to the Okanagan on October 25th to the 27th for a weekend of learning.
City of Merritt and others asking UNB members to share their wisdom on flood mitigation. What's this all about?
Yes, after the floods of November 21, we are working, Stu Weeks is working with the city of Merritt to fix the Collettville area of where the flood happened. So they're asking people to park on Pine Street and come down and take a look at what's been going on and what's going to be happening because stage one is underway.
Wonderful. This sounds like a difference maker with the cooler weather starting to take hold. Upper Nicola is looking for some paid help to help harvest and deliver firewood.
Yes, that's one thing we like to provide to our community members, our elders, our youth, or disabled. So we're looking for somebody that must have a Class 5 license and have chainsaw knowledge and certification. That way, they don't hurt themselves. And then we need them just deliver to the needy ones in the community.
And to get this going as soon as possible.
Yes, you need to contact the health office at 250-378-5058.
Terrific. Diana, one more, a very special weekend coming up for young girls later in the month.
Yes, there's actually the Kustum Tima again is holding a girls' weekend. So it'll be October 25th to the 27th, and it's going to be at the Cove in West Bank.
Now, Diana, whether it's who, what, when, where, or why, W5, the power of communication with UNB Administrator Collette Sunday. It's the interview when UNB Live continues.
She gets the honor of being the first returning guest on UNB Live. Band Administrator Collette Sunday is with us to do an encore performance. Nice to have you back, Collette.
Yes, nice to be back.
Collette, we're talking about Upper Nicola Band communications in general in this show. I was thinking about this. It is such a wide-ranging and really a constant work in progress.
Definitely, communication is always a challenge for us to meet a high level of expectation, whether it be written communication, verbal communication, or more visual communication. I think we are always setting the bar higher and higher as when we talk about communicating with our people.
So, while I know the answer, let's explain the current process of information sharing.
All right. Well, when I thought about communication, how we typically or historically communicated with our members. Well, I brought along this a sample of the Upper Nicola Band newsletter. So this was in my mailbox. I was on vacation for a couple of weeks, but when I returned, this was there. So this is like the September newsletter. And this is delivered door to door on reserve every second Wednesday. So when we're putting our garbage out, people come pick that up, and then we will have our newsletter delivered to us every 2 weeks. We used to put it out in the mail as well, which was a bit of a expense. Well, we've done something bigger and better than that. We said, well, instead of having
Hmm.
the newsletter, we wanted to have our app. So we started to develop the Upper Nicola Band app, in which you can sign on to the app if you own a smartphone, whether it be an Android or an iPhone, and all of the information that's in the newsletter and on the website is going to be on the app.
Right.
So at our fingertips, we can find out, okay, what's happening this weekend.
Right.
So you did a snapshot of what's happening in the next 2 weeks. All of those events, all of those activities, all the contact information is going to be found on the app. It's free of charge for us to get the app. Other ways that you can access information from us is through our website. And I think what we want to talk about here today is that two-way exchange,
Yeah.
not just us sharing information out, but having that exchange from our members. So I think we want to talk about that a little bit more. So when you think about it, okay, we have our newsletter, we have our app, we have the website, we have our annual report. So this is a snapshot of everything that has taken place in the last fiscal year ending March 31st. So from every fiscal year, we develop a budget, we develop operating plans, and then we action those after the end of the fiscal year. Then we put everything into this annual report. So this is not per se for funders. This is for the community members, the
Hmm.
rights holders, to say, okay, we've received X amount of dollars on your behalf. This is how we've expended those dollars, and this is the rollout of all programs, initiatives, and how we've supported our members. So that's another key way of communicating with our members.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have just verbal communication.
Yeah. Colette, I got to tell you that one of the things that impresses me so much, and has since I learned of this, was the commitment. We hear so much about everything's internet now. Everything is internet. Everything is an app. Everything is email. Everything is a website. But the fact is that for some, this is still a world that they're not comfortable in, and so the respecting of the elders to ensure that they have they get the newsletter actually delivered to them every 2 weeks in their mailbox. I got to tell you, I am just so impressed by that, and I think it speaks to the respect that elders so deserve. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are some elders that have access to the internet, but then there are many that don't. They would choose not to even pick that up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly. Sometimes I'm an old dog, and sometimes us old dogs don't learn new tricks all that well.
yeah.
We've all heard the adage that ignorance isn't bliss, and certainly it isn't. Want to talk about why it is really so important for UNB members, young and old, to be in the know.
Yeah, for sure. We work for the people. And so, how do we communicate with the people? We know that not all of our members live on reserve. We only probably have maybe 40% living on reserve, 30 to 40%. Well, where are the other individuals? Where
Right.
are our families? They're all over the world, whether they be in the lower mainland, Kamloops, Merritt, anywhere in the Okanagan Territory and beyond, right? We have people that are living internationally in the States, Australia. So, how do we communicate with them? Because we are
Right.
providing supports to those individuals as well.
Yep.
So, I think we really want to find ways to keep people connected, and that's some of the goals we have been working towards.
Hmm.
I think it's also worth reminding everyone about the importance of respect in the communication process.
Definitely. When we look at how we deliver programs, we want to do that in a respectful manner from a service provider, but also we want to have that equal respect coming back to us as
Hmm.
employees.
Yeah.
So definitely we want to be mindful. Thinking about it, just looking here on the back of the annual report, you can see the four food chiefs diagram. And then if you were to look at that, this is our Silk Okanagan governance structure, the foundation of it. So how is all of that based upon? So if we were to look at some of our teachings, respect is going to be one of those. So I don't think it's anything new. I think it's a teaching that we've always had passed down to us, and we
Hmm.
want to continue demonstrating that as we move forward to know that there are difficult conversations that may have to be had. There's different. We can't say yes to everything, but at the same time, let's meet. Let's have a meeting of the minds to say this is what we're capable of doing. This is what your ask may be. How can we accommodate those? And these are the current policies that we have in place. And perhaps there's a lot of areas that we may not have even touched yet. So
Yeah.
we are
Yeah.
we are an ever growing organization.
And we have to keep in mind that there is far more that unites than divides.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's what I always say when it comes to communication is that um it's always been something in the past. It used to be almost like an afterthought communication. We did so many positive things, but we weren't getting the positive word out. I think now we're starting to focus more energies, resources on getting those positive news stories out there to say we are these are the plans that we've taken from the community members in the comprehensive community plan and other community engagement sessions, and this is how we've started to roll those out.
Yeah.
So, like, even you were just talking briefly about the 13 moon calendar. Well, that has been a work in progress over the last 20, 25 years, right? Even further. They've asked for a curriculum at the school a long time ago, and we're finally getting that curriculum in place for the school. But it's not only important for the school, it's important for all of us.
Right. Right. As we go forward, Upper Nicola Band members are now going to be encouraged when when they have questions, when they have concerns, comments. Uh, we want to have the most effective communication line possible open, and so I think that we're going to make a bit of a change. We're to bring those questions, comments, concerns to UNB communications.
Yes, this is something that Chief and Council have asked us to work on is streamlining all questions that community members may have. So instead of it maybe going to the reception email address, maybe going to the administrator email address where I have how many emails to review on a weekly basis, perhaps it might be a better idea to flow all of the questions to
Yep.
communications, and that can be done on email or on our website. And once those questions are received by Diana and communications, then we start to look at how we're going to
Right.
then we get that response together in a timely manner and get
Yep.
a response out.
And of course,
Mhm.
Diana, myself, and others will and then take those questions, do the research, get the answers, and get back to those people
Exactly.
ASAP.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Diana with support of Bob, that's exactly what we want to get done is to start to streamline these questions and get timely responses back. Because we don't think if people have questions, it's probably more likely that more community members may have similar questions.
Yes.
So we do our best in sharing as much information on the website. A lot of times we get the question like, who works in what department? How do I get a hold of them? Where's the org chart? Well, all of that is there.
Hmm.
What are your plans? Well, all of the plans are posted there. All of the annual reports are posted there. We have to do a better of course there's always room for improvement. We know we've had the website put updated in the last few years, but we still need to make that current. It was nice to see when I was checking it out in the last couple of days that the Instruction page has a lot of great learning resource materials there that have been loaded recently. I
Hmm.
know the Custom team are looking at updating their page. We have always had to update the chief and council page as we have changes there. So definitely it's a work in progress and something that we need to keep on top of that we will be working on doing.
Exactly.
And just a reminder, there's so many ways to get a hold of me. You can either email me, communications@uppernickel.com. You can do a comments tab on the webpage, which is www.uppernickel.com, or you can phone 250-350-3342. Don't forget, we also have our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our TikTok page. We have a YouTube channel. We have our website. There's so many different ways. So please get a hold of us.
Oh, and LinkedIn as well, Diana.
Yes, we're working on LinkedIn.
There really is no excuse not to get a hold of us. We are everywhere.
Yes, we are.
Wonderful. Collette, terrific information today. Thank you so much for coming in. We do appreciate.
All right. Thank you.
أهل كوسكنا أهل هاي هاي تمهو.
That is going to do it for this edition of UNB Live. As always, we welcome your feedback, communications at uppernicola.com. Diana, our next guest.
Bob, we're off to school. Report card day, as we will be checking in with Upper Nicola Education Manager, Charlene McCrae.
So until we meet again, thank you for watching. Stay safe, everyone.
أهل هاي هاي تمهو لا هاي هاي